What's up, nerds? What's up, nerds? Goz Master here with another Magic the Gathering puzzle quest. Today's quest, the rest of the chase cards, or the strong cards from the new set Murders at Karlov Manor. I'm going to get right to it. This is going to be the rares. I was going to do like rares and commons, but I'm just going to try to muscle through the rest of these here because there are several of them that I think that are pretty good. Let's get right into it. Anzrag's Rampage, 17 mana red spell card. Destroy all artifact cards, then exile the top X cards from your library. X is the number of artifact cards destroyed this way. You may pick one of the first two different creature cards from your exile, move that card into play under your control. Free creatures. Yeah, I mean, maybe this could see some play at 17 mana, though. That's kind of expensive. I don't know if that's chase, but it has some function. Assemble the players, 18 mana. At the beginning of your turn, fetch the first creature from your library. If that creature has power 6 or less, move it to the board under your control. There's a lot of creatures, functional creatures, powerful creatures with power 18 or 6 or less, that getting them onto the board would make a big difference. And it enters battlefield. This is a new poor man's version of Prismatic Bridge, where it would just bring anything to the yard. This takes, at the beginning of your turn, fetch the first creature from your library. If that creature has 6 power or less, move it to the board under your control. So at least it's card draw. It's putting that card into hand. But yeah, if all your creatures have power 6 or less, all the good ones do, you're able to put it on the board free. For 18 mana, it's a little expensive, but it's an enchantment, it's white. I'm sure there's tons of ways we can cheat it out. I think this is a really good card. I think it's going to be very functional. You're going to see a lot of play with it. Oriella, the Law Above, we've already spotlighted this, but as we look at it, when a creature you control attacks, draw a card, then deal 6 damage to the first opposing creature and gain 6 life. That's every creature that attacks. That's going to get functionally just beefy. 16 mana for Chalk Outline, green enchantment. When the support enters the board, destroy an opposing card at random. At the beginning of the combat on your turn, create X detective tokens. X is the number of cards in all graveyards. That's significant. So if the detective tokens are, what are we talking about? I think they're going to be the simple tokens. If those are considered simple tokens, then that should be very significant because this will actually produce those in volume for us to do the rest of the things we're doing. So this is a really good card. It's a little expensive at 16, but come on, we're in green and Galta and whatever. When the support enters the board, destroy an opposing card at random, period, point blank, general. Just all cards and all that they would have should be privy, including vanguards. So pretty significant, especially if it's mid to late game. I think it'd be very effective. But really, that secondary ability at the beginning of combat on your turn, create X detective tokens, X the number of cards in all graveyards. Shenanigans. This with cut your losses. Gonna have a lot of fun. Good card. Commercial District. I just really want to spotlight this because everybody's getting excited about this card, but don't, because this is a misprint. That's going to be 12, not 7, and then it's just like the rest of the cards. When the support enters the board, investigate at the beginning of your turn, convert 4 gems to red or to green. Webcore, if these were all 7 to, I would even say 10, these would be significant. I'd say maybe 9 would be the highest that you should go. This would make us want to play with these cards, especially at the rare level. If they were uncommon, I could understand 12, but at rare, it really should have been priced around 7. Especially lands that give you either or, that you can miss and whiff with those on the colors that you need matched. Maybe you're playing a monocolor or whatever it is. The difference here is that we want to play with lands, but they're too expensive to play, especially in today's meta. They're not strong enough for us to justify playing with them compared to some of the other lands I'm going to be spotlighting here. So this one's right. The rest of them are wrong. Change them to this, not the other way around. All right. Next, Connecting the Dots. 12 mana. It's a support card that's red with 4 shield. When a creature you control attacks, exile the first card from your library at the beginning of your turn. Return the first creature card from your exile into play under your control. If you can't, return the first support card from your exile to play under your control. This is really good. This is really, really good. At 12 mana, I basically have a Prismatic Bridge, right? I just have to get cards into my exile. There's a lot of ways to get cards in your exile. The easiest one is just take it from your hand and throw it into your exile. So if you got a 30 casting cost creature, like we've spotlighted yesterday on the last video, yeah, this is going to get that creature from exile onto the board for 12, not even 12 mana. You're just getting it free every turn. This is solid. This is so good. This is so good. I can't believe how good this is. Connecting the Dots. That's great. That's a chase card for sure. Cryptics, 10 mana, colorless, 3 shield artifact. When you collect evidence, investigate. So whenever you're doing one of the evidence collections, you get to draw a card. At the beginning of your turn, convert 5 gems to one of the colors of your greatest mana bonuses. When the support is destroyed or loses a reinforcement, draw a card. This is so good. This allows you to take, this is really better for, I know there's some other people that are talking about other ones that give better mana bonuses. That's not it. That's not why this is good. This is good for multicolored planeswalkers with significant mana bonuses already. So this gives you an additional, it converts 5 gems at the beginning of your turn. So it's solid. You don't need to use it as a land. It counts as an artifact. There's a lot of different things you can do with it. There's a lot of synergies in play right now. This is a significant card, absolutely chase worthy at rare. Yeah, I think this is going to get a lot more play than people are giving it credit for right now. Doorkeeper Thrall, 12 mana, flash, flying, 1/2 Thrall. When your opponent casts a creature card, disable it until the beginning of your next turn. So this is a poor man's version of Urabrask the Hidden. This is a kind of a cheap version of that for what it does for this counting. And there's, I forget the other creature's name that does that too. I think it's Thalia and the frog or whatever it is, but has flash, which doesn't make any sense. Why would we have flash on it? Their creatures have already been cast. So why would we put this on the board late? We would want this on the board in the beginning of their turn. I don't know. I don't understand. There's a lot of flash put on cards, and I don't know why. Ill-Timed Explosion, we've already talked about, 12 mana. Discard the last 3 cards from your hand, then draw 4 cards. For each spell card discarded this way, deal damage to your opponent's planeswalker equal to that card's base mana cost. Dude, this is just going to combo loop. We can build creatureless kill spells now, creatureless decks that do win without having to have supports on board, or without having to have creatures or supports that actually do the win con. Ill-Timed Explosion will do that for us. This is going to be a stupid, you're going to hate what I build. You will hate it. I cannot wait. Greg will pilot this deck to perfection because he's not dumb enough to ruin it. He is not that dumb. He isn't. We'll see, though. All right, Judith Carnage Connoisseur. 12 mana for a black-red legendary 3/4 Shaman. Shaman! When you cast a spell, create 4 red devil tokens. Then your creatures gain death touch and lifelink until end of turn. No haste, though. This is really good. This is not good as his Ovika. I know a lot of people play this over Ovika. Ovika! Because she's cheaper and she gets you a lot of tokens. The challenge is they don't have haste. They do have lifelink, so that could help you in a specific type of build. So she will see play. I think she's really good. She's an excellent card. But when Ovika rotates out, which I think is March of the Machines, which won't. So this and Ovika will be in standard for a long, long time. This might be playable inside of the Devil Lady. I forgot her name. You know which Planeswalker I'm talking about with the Devils. Ley Line of the Guild Pack. Now this is a land, even though it's not a land. 18 mana, 5 colors, enchantment. At the beginning of your turn, convert 6 gems to your Planeswalker's colors. So you got to have a Planeswalker with, a color sequence, and that would be best for mono walkers, right? But here's the real thing, and the real reason I'll play this in all of my decks, probably even my loop decks especially. Overflow. Destroy all gems of your opponent's Planeswalker's colors. Sure. Yeah, let's go. That makes sense to me. Let's do it. I get the draw impact because it's drawing into my hand. I get the conversion mana on the board because I'm nuking their colors. It's going to be very significant against either a green converting green walker or really a tri-walker. This will have more significance because it's going to pretty much blow up the board, and I'm going to get a ton of mana in the cascades that follow. Very much excited for this card. This will be a very functional card. Even if you never cast it, the overflow function will make a big difference. Trust me. Torch the Witness. Can I torch a witness? 4 mana for a level 3 enchantment. Red. At the beginning of your turn, investigate. So I get to draw a card. Then increase this card's level by 1. When another source you control deals damage to your opponent's Planeswalker, deal 2 damage. Deal 2 times X damage to your opponent's Planeswalker. X is this card's level. So at the beginning of your turn, investigate. Then increase this card's level by 1. So this takes a couple of turns, but if this is on the board and I'm looping and I'm doing damage from some other source, it won't be as powerful, but it will machine gun. I predict they're going to nerf this fairly quickly because I'm going to break this. I will break this. This is going to easily go into Samet, the tested, and yeah, this is going to be functionally stupid powerful. This is absolutely chase card. Try to get it and play with it before they nerf it because they will nerf this card. So this is now into the uncommons, and this is a really good card. Unauthorized exit, 7 mana flash spell card. So we have flash removal in blue. Return target creature to its owner's hand, surveil 1. As long as you can target it, then you get to surveil 1. This is a really, really good removal spell. It doesn't say make room in hand for the removal. It just says bounce, and I love it. I love bounce spells like that. Tin Street Gossip, 10 mana for a Vigilant 4/4 red-green Viashino Advisor. When this creature enters the battlefield, convert 6 gems to red or to green. Solid. 10 mana. Doesn't cost much to get out. This is going to be a really effective little dump spell, dump creature into uncommon to be able to get some conversion going and maybe start some loops or combos or just get stuff out. Crawl Whipcracker, 6 mana, creature insect assassin, black-green, 3/2. When this creature enters battlefield, destroy an opposing card at random. The real good thing about these two, this one, and actually, yeah, well, this is green and this is black and green. Both of these can be played with Nissa Shadowed Boughs, so Emo Nissa, and we can have some shenanigans and fun with this. This could actually be something that allows us to do some silly little combos with her third ultimate ability. So I'm excited for that. And that's just cool art right there. I like that a lot. Roots! Sidious Roots! 6 shield, black-green enchantment. At the beginning of your turn, gain X mana. X is the number of creature tokens you control, then create a plant token. Yeah, you pair this with any kind of token generator, Ovika, anyone. You just get a ton of mana for 6 mana. That's pretty darn good. That's really, really good. Coerce to kill, 13 mana, black, spell card. Gain control of the first opposing creature with the greatest mana cost. Its power and toughness becomes 1/1. Why? Just let it be what it is. It gains Death Touch and gains the Assassin subtype. So, I mean, at the very minimum, we're looking at this as a removal spell from our opponents, but we got to have room on our side to take it. Why make it a 1/1? I don't understand. It's an uncommon, so okay, that's fine. But I like this one a lot because it gives blue some options to be able to do removal. It's non-targeted removal. If it had flash, that'd even be better, but whatever. It's still really, really good for getting something off their side, you know, making it fair and putting it on our side, but maybe there's some triggers abilities that does stuff that makes it worthwhile to get to us. Who knows? Cerebral Confiscation, 14 mana for a black spell card. Your opponent discards the first 2 cards from their hand, then your opponent loses 3 life and you draw a card. All right, so I'm spotlighting this not because it's great, but because it is common, and it is the first 2 cards, right? Your discards the first 2 cards from their hand. So this is like that Irietta's, whatever it is, and the other Mythic or Masterpiece from Origins that costs 6. It's 6, 8, and now 14. Between those 3 cards, Greg should never have cards in his hand at the front of it. So discard, significant discard, now becomes a real viable playstyle. Right? Like we can just keep a new control mechanic or method is just to keep cards with mana from the front of Greg's hand. That's pretty significant. I'm not sure how it's going to play in long term, but it is significant. Undercity Eliminator, 7 mana for a 3/3 Gorgon Assassin. When this creature enters the battlefield, you may destroy target creature you control. If you do, exile the first opposing creature. Solid, so you can use this to kill itself. It's essentially a 7/7 non-targeted removal, or a 7 casting cost non-targeted removal with a backup of, no, I'm just going to keep a 3/3 body on the board just in case I need some physicality out there, or I need to replace a creature on the board kind of thing. So interesting, fun, effective, and the last card that we're spotlighting here. All right, my friends, what do you think of the set? I'm very excited, and I think we're going to get it tomorrow if you're watching this the day before on Monday. And there's a lot of cards that I think are going to be very significant in this, and not as, there's just so many significant mythics and masterpieces that we're going to be needing to look out for. I'm very excited for what the set is going to do, man. I'm going to break all kinds of things, and I'm excited for it, and I hope that you are too. If you are, hey, do me a favor. We're, what, 15 people, 16 people away from hitting 1,000 subscribers? If you haven't already, my friend, take a minute. Show some appreciation, some love, and some respect. Hit the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. Hit the subscribe button. You can ignore the videos if you don't want to watch them, but it makes the channel just that much better. And get into the Discord because, you know, in the Discord, we like to do fun Magic Puzzle Quest things there, and we want to enjoy those things with you. Some of the best players in the world gather just to give you the best advice we possibly can. And I appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world, chose to spend this time with me here. And until our next quest, which is tomorrow, pack openings, I hope. It might be Wednesday, but I hope it's tomorrow. Swords up.